This is Triumph's 900cc Thunderbird, and she should have been here today, but there's something wrong with the speedboat or something. I'm not too sure exactly what's gone on. Anyway, how often have you parked up your bike and been approached by someone who said, but you can't beat the old British bikes we had when I was a lad? Well, truth is, 30 odd years ago, if you wanted to be the bee's knees among your biking mates, chances are you'd have possibly owned a nice shiny Triumph. Well, now you can do it all again. This is Triumph's weapon in the battle for sales of the retro market, the 900cc Thunderbird, and it's a beauty. The engine is Triumph's rock-steady triple-cylinder 900cc, but it has been detuned slightly for the Thunderbird, and new double overhead cams and a reduction in compression ratio means it only produces around 76 brake horsepower, as opposed to the 97 brake horsepower available from most of the other 900s in Triumph's range. So, apart from the nice shiny Triumph badge on the tank, what else do you get for your hard-earned 8,245 quid? Well, you get lots of nice shiny chrome bits. Now this bike parked up in amongst a line of other bikes, well, you could almost mistake it for the original air-cooled unit. That is, until you spot this nice neat radiator hiding below the headlamp. Well, there's a pair of nice shiny carb covers, lovely polished engine casings, a beautiful twin exhaust system, and a pair of real eye-catching chrome spoked wheels. And with a pair of nice shiny chrome coloured clocks up front and the Triumph logo emblazoned across the top yoke, well, it almost makes me feel proud to be British. Or does it? Well, we'll soon find out.
Well, yes, I think it does. This is certainly a bike I wouldn't mind being seen on. The riding position is high up and it's extremely comfortable. And the engine is torquey and it never really feels stressed. The handling is superb, but this isn't a bike for thrashing round the lanes. Posing value is 10 out of 10. Just sit back and enjoy the fact that you look really cool. If you wanted to be picky, then you would have to say that the dashboard warning lamps, particularly the indicators and neutral light, are quite tricky to see, especially in direct sunlight. Maybe self-cancelling indicators would be the answer. Okay, so I'm being a bit fussy. The fact is, there's really not much else to complain about. And if only I could ride it anywhere. Ah well, boys will be boys.
Well, I'm now back in the shop, back in Tommy Robb Motorcycles, and I'm joined by the man himself, Tommy Robb. Now, Tommy's been a works Honda rider, a works Yamaha rider, commentated on umpteen TTs, and just done about everything there is to do in the world of motorcycles, including selling bikes for the last 20 years. Now, Tommy, thanks very much for lending me this. It really is great fun. But something I must ask you is, Triumph, I mean, it's an old name, and all the pedigree and all the charisma that goes with it, but who's buying bikes like this? Are the old Triumph riders coming back, or is it a completely new breed of rider that's rediscovered Triumph?
Paul, we're actually getting both. We're getting the born-again biker, the man who has set his business up. His wife's got a car, he's got a car, but he wants a plaything at the weekends. He buys the Thunderbird or any of the other Triumph range, and also the Japanese range. But we get a lot of people who are actually still holding Triumphs themselves, the older model, and they're adding to it now with the new model.
Right, yeah, so what do you say, is there not a school of thought that says, well, okay, £8,000, I've got a nice new bike that looks like an old bike, so why don't I go and buy an old bike for, well, a lot less than that and have the original article? I mean, obviously, 90s technology.
Well, you can't really do that. You see, you can't bring an old bike up to the technological aspect of this particular machine or the four-cylinder machine, because these have got CDI units where the old bike had points. These don't have oil leaks where the old bikes had oil leaks, and everything about them is updated, but the look of the bike is still retro, with the result that they're still comfortable to ride in a retro style, a retro high handlebar position, but you've no problems.
Smashing. And they look great. And really, they do make you feel proud to be British. And you can't forget that you're British when you're riding one of these. Tommy, the bike's fantastic, but there's a whole lifestyle that goes with the Triumph range. And am I right in thinking there's quite a substantial aftermarket catalogue for Triumph?
They've really gone to town on this, Paul, because what they've done is they've put additional chrome covers for the radiator. They've put other chrome matching panels. You can buy these as extras. You can buy, even as we have here, one of the leather Harley style panniers, which is a throw-over pannier that fits on with a special kit on the side of the machine. Yeah. You've got the bike still with a retro look, and you've got a substantial pannier with it. They also do a screen, a summer screen or a winter screen, which, believe you me, makes all the difference in riding. Yeah. You know as well as I do, when you ride an unfaired bike, once you get to 70 mile an hour plus, your arms start to stretch with the wind pressure on your chest.
That's right, yeah.
With these screens on, it makes the Thunderbird capable of 100, 110 mile an hour without any effective wind resistance on you.
Great. Well, there it is, the Triumph Thunderbird, a cracking looking bike. Well, you can join me next week on Men and Motors. I'll be riding something else fantastic. I really don't know what it's going to be just yet. Well, let's finish with one quick last look at Pamela riding her Triumph Thunderbird.